So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when and where you're watching. It's your girl, Choose Compassion here. And I wanted to do a live reaction to the Lansing Journal's commentary on the Thornton Township meeting because they did ask, were they too judgy? And so I want to go through that and give my take because I do realize that, they're a newspaper that, is reporting to Caucasian women, reporting on, a whole lot of Black people. So, number one, I appreciate the Lansing Journal. Shout out, definitely friend to the channel. And I've been, I should say, reading their articles before they ever came to the Tube of You. So I want to get into that and basically give my thoughts and opinions, which, you know, eh, opinions are like what? Buttholes, everyone has one. So this is just my take because I found their commentary very interesting. And as for the whole Thornton Township drama and debacle, I guess is what I usually call it, to be perfectly honest. Regarding that, this is how I feel. I often say that uh, it feels like the late 80s and early 90s. And so, to sum up how I'm feeling about the township at whole, and as well as different communities within the township, I just wanted to express my personal view and going into this and how I feel. Everybody can succeed in yourself. You must believe. Give it a try. Let the mercy Now, if you have not seen Degrassi High, the original, because, you know, there was Degrassi Junior High, and then they went to high school, and lo and behold, years later, they come back with the next generation, which I watched because, of course, they lured the, you know, Gen Xers and early millennials to uh, the the platform because we watched the original and they're like, oh my gosh, this character is like Spike. Spike is coming back. And we want to see how these people look as adults. What did happen? What's the storyline? Anywho, I'm off track. We can talk about that another time. However, so shout out to the Lansing Journal for asking the question like, um, is this, are we being too judgy? That's a fair, very fair question to ask. And I want to just kind of go through what they said. And everybody, please, if you're not aware of the Lansing Journal, um, please familiarize yourself with them. They've been reporting on this for years before the Tube of You. And I love that they are here in this space as well and still doing the articles. So thank you. Um, and let's go ahead and introduce these two lovely ladies.
Hello, everyone. I am Melanie Youngsmith, publisher of the Lansing Journal, here with Carol Shawarko, our managing editor.
Hello.
We're sitting outside of Thornton Township headquarters again because we got out of the September meeting.
Yep, September 9th regular meeting. And it was a medium length one. I was going to say it was short, but it really wasn't a short one.
No. Much of it was the same.
Okay, so let's stop there. Excellent. I love the eloquent way of, just describing the medium length meeting that, was kind of short, but it really wasn't. So, in my opinion, this is accurate. Um, in my own terms, I would put it as, I would definitely put it as, yeah, that, what you heard, but not about Melody or Carol, but what basically, it wasn't really long, but it felt so much longer than it probably really was. And I believe they're about to say basically something about, same old. So appreciate that.
Same format, lots of public comment, some of the same concerns expressed during public comment, also some praise.
Yeah, there was definitely
Public
some
comment.
praise in there. People that thanked the board for their work and said they're doing a good job.
Yeah, then the board.
Oh, sorry, let me unmute myself. So basically, same old, same old. No one's, people are challenging and asking questions, and people are not saying things with their entire chest. If that makes sense, people are not saying things with their chest. It seems like there is some type of, oh, excuse me. It seems like there's some type of disconnect with the way that they used to speak up and now. So I'm not going to go through the speakers right now. Please go over to the Lansing Journal. They had the entire meeting. I just loved their commentary. So same old, same old. No one spoke up. Nobody did anything. Okay, let's go.
Board did go into closed session, which they don't always do.
Yeah, that was kind of an interesting thing. They didn't take any action coming out of closed session, which is not necessarily unusual for a board. Sometimes they will, sometimes they won't.
Okay, so here, very nice. Very nicely put. So eloquently put. It's like, man, they went in a closed session and came back out and basically nothing happened. Which, sometimes nothing does happen. That's the grace that we appreciate that you gave them. I'm inclined to believe Napoleon Harris didn't know what to say, so they had to give him the next part of what he needed to say and all that. But again, that's just my opinion. Now, I mean, going into closed session and getting nothing done, for me, it also raises red flags. What are you doing? Why are you going into closed session? But again, I don't think this is judgy so far. I'm not getting judgy. No, no.
So they were gone about a half hour, and then they came back, and then there was a time for presentations.
Yes.
And I like to call that the parade of department heads.
It felt
That is so funny. The parade of department heads. See, so truthfully put, so eloquently put. So basically, just like when Tiffany Henyard was in office and had Robert Hunt. Oh, wait a minute. Don't Robert Hunt still work there? Never mind, child. That's probably for another video too. The focus is the reaction to the Lansing Journal. So I digress. You got the same people talking about, oh, how great we're doing, blah, blah, blah. Same old, as they referenced earlier in in this video?
Felt like a parade to you. We went through several department heads. We found out that it has been about 100 days, 114 days
Right.
to be exact. Supervisor Harris let us know that the new board has been seated. And so each of the department heads came up and detailed what they've done, what their departments have done during those 100 days.
Sort of a celebration of accomplishment during the 100 days.
It was. So some of it, was in.
Okay, so after 114 days, people are already asking questions, but you do have the parade of people that are like, well, the water department, well, I mean, the food pantry is blah, 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 and da, da, da. I mean, I thank you. There, 114 days, we are parading the department heads around instead of saying, okay, it's been 114 days, and why haven't you answered Napoleon Harris or why you are taking a salary through a shell bill that was, put out there, and for you to just be like, well, we cannot change well, clearly your constituents think that there's a problem and an issue with that. So if you're the good guy, because you're the good guy, right? You save the day. Like, wouldn't you go and question this bill? Hey, why am I getting paid this same amount as Tiffany Henyard? Why did you all do this if you don't have anything to do with it? And if you didn't have anything to do with it, then whoops, here we go for another setup. Like, stop it. This is why I started with the song from Degrassi, because oh my gosh, everybody can succeed. All you need is to believe, baby. But please continue.
Interesting. There was some detail in there about, like, for example, the senior transportation department and how many rides they've offered to seniors.
A lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers thrown out. A couple financial numbers thrown out, which is
Oh my goodness, am I bad? Okay. I don't know what happened there. I think my battery died. I plugged it up, whatever. I'm new to StreamYard. Bear with me, please. Give me grace. Okay, but without further ado, let's continue. I can't do anything but laugh at myself because that's funny. All right, so we were where Melanie and Carol were talking about the township department heads and what they were doing. So let me add them here. All right, let's go. So
114 days
Right.
to be exact. Supervisor Harris let us know that the new board has been seated. And so each of the department heads came up and detailed what they've done, what their departments have done during those 100 days.
Sort of a celebration of accomplishment during the 100 days.
It was. So some of it, was interesting. There was some detail in there about, like, for example, the senior transportation department and how many rides they've offered to seniors.
A lot of numbers.
A lot of numbers thrown out. A couple financial numbers thrown out, which is always
dollars.
exciting when we hear dollar amounts cited in those reports. But it felt a little bit like a parade to you. And you said it kind of reminded you a little bit of the Tiffany Henyard days.
There were Tiffany Henyard meetings where she had the department heads perform, and there was some rah-rah, and it felt similar to that. Maybe it's not fair to compare, but I can't deny that it reminded me of that.
Yeah. And it's, some of it still feels at the current board's meetings that it's a little bit of a show, that we're not getting much substance necessarily from the board. We're not getting much discussion from the board. There was a little bit of discussion tonight.
Okay, so Melanie, no, you do not sound unfair to compare that, because the residents are, or I should say constituents, are now asking the questions that probably should have been asked instead of going to the podium to ask, not to ask questions, but to berate and, not talk about these things that happened. So I'm not understanding why it's not unfair. Like, it's totally fair to compare that to that. The only difference that I see is this could have been avoided if these questions were being asked. One in particular, the board meeting where Tiffany showed up and would vote for the audit. Nobody else showed up. Doesn't matter if it was a private, a special meeting. It doesn't matter. Whatever all of those reasons why, there's no reason that the trustees should not have showed up to go ahead and say, hey, yes. And then they went back and had their own meeting, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because, hey, I'm still trying to remember. I just, unfortunately, like the way that I feel is like this about the township.
I know what you're saying. This is what I don't get. All the characters fit their names. Flat Top had a flat top. Prune Face looked just like a little prune. But I never got the chance to see.
Much like we never got the chance to see any results from anything that was happening, because the right questions were not being asked when it was a very critical time to ask those questions. And now we're asking the question, oh, where's the audit? Oh, that's going to cost too much money. But all of this money could be here had not, if that shell bill had not gone through. You feel me? So, 57,200 and some odd thousand, there's your money for all kinds of forensic audits to prove that what you all have been alluding to, that money was stolen. So regardless of the person, now you're looking and people are seeing, wait a minute, not only are they acting like, oh, just we're a united front. No, what they're doing is they're basically making all the laws, doing what they doing, agreeing on whatever, coming out there to pass it in front of y'all, and now y'all can't say nothing. So that's what that is. It's ridiculous. And all this, that I like how that the one constituent asked if why why are you seated so far back from us? Like, why are you so far back? And just asking about the ordinance to not show your, you know, not use your face to, promote products. Oh my goodness, which I guess the township is becoming a product with this, but using the your images and likenesses. I mean, so no one is going to openly admit that. Hello, why if not if because it happened. They said, "Oh no, Tiffany's spending too much money on images, and we need to stop her with this." Only to put it back in place. You don't find that suspicious. Anywhoosies, I'm totally loving the commentary here because I concur.
Right. That felt a little tacked on.
A little staged.
But the pragmatist that I am, I thought that maybe that's a good indication that the board is hearing what the public has to say and maybe trying to offer a little bit more during the meetings.
So that's nice.
Yeah, funny. See, this is what I love about the Lansing Journal. They are so eloquent and funny. Like, Melanie truly is like, that's nice, but it ain't good enough. Okay, I'll say that this is not the views of Lansing Journal. This is solely the views of Choose Compassion's channel. I love that she said, it's a united front, and this is nice. And I'm going to go ahead and interject and say, but it's not good enough. Okay, y'all got Tiffany can't have security, but Napoleon got bodyguards. Come on, make it make sense.
And then during Supervisor Harris's report, he did reference some complaints that I guess he's heard. So some of which came up during public comment. People mentioned that that the board seems to have already made up their minds by the time they come to the meeting. There's no discussion. It feels like they're a bunch of yes men. So,
period. Because who comes with your mind made up for something about social services that's supposed to be for the community, which is the township? This is why townships are becoming less and less. And guess what? And unless we start like really talking about all the issues, because all of this little Napoleon, why are you sitting so far back? Napoleon, I mean, like, no, and here's me not saying don't approach him. Like, I don't suggest that y'all approach anyone the way that y'all approach Tiffany. Excuse me, former supervisor Tiffany Henyard. I don't condone that for her. I don't condone that for Napoleon. But you guys were wild. So what's the fear? What's the fear? What's the fear? So I don't understand that.
It's all yes votes, right?
And Supervisor Harris said they don't do any bickering in the meeting. They talk about things before the meeting, and then so they can conduct themselves professionally at the meeting.
Really? So let me break that down. This is just what I heard. So Bert Odelson and all them been told them what to do. And so now y'all done try to tack yourself onto the bigger whole political machine. Congratulations. And now, even if you want to say something, Mary, hello, Mary, why you not so outspoken? Oh my gosh, like, unasked that seat much, you know? You got nothing to say. This is wild. Anyway, continue.
And take their vote then. And to me, that indicated, I think he has a basic misunderstanding of what this public wants from this government.
Period. It is. It's a basic misunderstanding, and my views and opinion is this is a deliberate, basic oversight because they don't care about no social services. Okay? You have Valerie Stubbs up there talk about whatever all this. Come to me, I'll give you some food. I blah blah blah. Now you're in a position where you can vote to really help, and ain't nobody got nothing to say. Ain't nobody got nothing to say. And the words of Keith Freeman, oh, it's quiet now. It's quiet now. You hear that? It's quiet now. What the heck? That's wild. Y'all have a basic understanding, possibly because both Mary Yvonne and Valeria Stubbs are of the age of big, as Dan Lee likes to put it, big bingo. I can't even get as high as he did that. Big bingo. They're of the age of bingo. So I'm not sure how they're focused on the youth of the township, particularly the preteens and teenagers, particularly the adults that are younger than them. I mean, that's wild for people who clearly don't represent what's needed to be in these seats. And I'm not saying anything about qualifications because I don't know what the qualifications really are for these seats other than to be a resident. However, if you don't personally resonate with things that you have to vote on, this is how that looks. This is how that looks right there. So
This is a community that wants to be involved in the process. And a public meeting is the public's only chance to hear the thought process that's going into these decisions. That's what people are looking for. They don't want to just know that you all agree behind the scenes or that all the discussion is happening behind the scenes. They want to hear what concerns you have, what questions you raised. Public meetings are the only chance we have to do that. It's a public meeting. It's
period. It's a public meeting. And they come up in there. They come up in there with everybody's seats all extra pushed back like they royalty, while Mary Yvonne and hilarious stuff sit there on mute. Like, I don't know if y'all ever watched Doc McStuffins, but who said the word go stuffed? Because they ain't talking like what? Unstuffed, speak. What's up? I mean, if you agree, why do you agree? Do you know why you agree? Like, this right here, all of that. Tiffany is the mockery. Tiffany is this. Okay, guess what? I'm not even about to confirm, deny, or dispute that. She may be, she may not be, whatever. I guess it depends on the perspective. And both things can be true because currently, right now, Mary Avant, the loudest person on the team, Valeria Stubbs, who said she would describe her a demon possessed, and like these y'all trustees, these y'all trustees ain't got nothing to say. Wow. I guess I'm supposed to say like and subscribe if you find it helpful. If you don't find it helpful, put that down in the comments as well. We are still learning. Exactly. Conversation should be had between members of the board. Exactly. Conversations. There should be nothing final because this is a township. It's not a city. Like, you're destroying what is the exact essence of a township. It's for the residents' input. No, or maybe the constituents and the public just want to know why. What did you do? Why did you do this? So we can understand. I mean, that's fair. That is fair. Where is the audit? Where is the audit? How do you not pick up this community, or I should say, this whole institution of the whole, man, the psychological operations that have been performed through all this, Tiffany bad, everywhere you go, Tiffany bad, Tiffany bad. Again, I'm not going to dispute that, but did anybody check the other side? Did anybody check the other side at any time? Maybe, but it didn't matter because I was popping. And whole time these are people's lives, real lives. So because YouTube was like, hype me up, hype me up, hype me up, hype me up. While y'all was on that and not getting any type of substantial, asking any type of substantial questions, getting any kind of substantial information, not listening when you were getting information because social media was happy, happy, like that's wild. That's wild. And so here we are. And whose fault is that? It ain't social media's fault. It's people who voted for this. That's whose fault it is. Y'all voted for this. And now you want to be afraid because you voted for this to what? Not say nothing? Y'all supposed to be the most outspoken ones. We put our faith in you. We gave you our vote. We gave you we vouched for you, man. They answer to y'all. The people that voted for this, the constituents, ain't nobody talking to nobody on that's not a constituent right now. the constituents in particular that voted for this should be the most outraged instead of feeling shamed that you didn't vote. I mean, that you voted for him and you regret it, maybe, or you're not sure if you regret it, or maybe you still support it. Maybe you all can help tell us why, give us some insight. But this is ridiculous. I mean, you thought the township and Dalton and all that was a laughing stock before? Are you serious? No, Melanie, you're not being too judgy. I don't see that at all. See, you're being real nice, and I love it.
So a little bit of that is still missing, and I think maybe they interpret that as negativity, that they don't want to bring that messiness, or that this is my just opinion, and it's not. That's the way humans operate.
It's healthy discussion.
It's healthy discussion.
Exactly, healthy discussion. And they don't want to answer questions because they don't want to explain why the loudest people sitting up at that table did all of this to do this, what's happening in the present. Now, that is clearly not in the interest of the constituents.
Every time. Yeah. And something else that was missing from that discussion among the board was some details. We didn't hear really some specifics specifics have been lacking throughout several of these meetings, and this meeting was no exception. We heard about a new initiative for men's health to bring events to Thornton Township in support of men's physical, social, emotional, mental health. And I'm all for that.
You know what? I'm all for that too because all of these men, y'all need help. Okay, I'm sorry. Not all. I would like to formally retract that statement. The men that actually came out to support chaos and mayhem rather than call people on their stuff, even when it was Tiffany Henyard who also needed to be checked on certain things. So, like, what are we doing here? It's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing.
I think
Men's health is good.
that's a great idea. We want men to be healthy.
We do want men to be healthy for that. We do want y'all to be healthy. But y'all could just go to therapy, or why can't you just have an adult initiative for male and female, or whatever, like all adults between the ages of whatever, 21, 25 through 65. Why are we doing this? Why again are we doing this categorizing like, oh, this is a good thing? That you and what in the 90s is this? What in the 90s is this? Just include all adults and then boom. Now you got your whole mental health thing for everyone that's an adult. Oh, wow.
But they approved an event, and we don't know what date the event is on, and we don't know how much money the event is going to cost. And
You know what? I'm shaking my head. Y'all would have ripped Tiffany to shreds. They approved an event that you all don't know about. Don't know a date. Don't know what it is. Oh my goodness. You see, here's the thing. The truth is stranger than fiction. That's terrible. This looks worse than the Tiffany Henyard era. And I'll be the first to say it since nobody else wants. I don't know, maybe somebody did. I'll be the one to openly admit it. Like, this looks worse. This looks like exactly what she told you all. And when I say you all, I mean constituents.
We don't know what budget line that cost is going to come out of. And
So then it turns into a rah-rah for this event. Oh, men's health, it's for everyone, men of all ages, and bring your families too, and there's going to be barbecue, and mental health is so important, and men struggle because they don't like to admit things. Rah, 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 but we don't know any specifics.
Period. Rah rah rah. Shout out, Melanie, because seriously, oh, we're gonna do this, and what? Oh my goodness! And can we please stop with the barbecue and the like? What is happening right now? First, we had him on a flyer behind some chicken wings. Now, come out, bring your family. It's a barbecue. Okay.
And when you're at a business meeting, a public business meeting, I'd like to know some business.
that's what we're looking for. The purpose of the meeting is not to feel good. If you walk out of the meeting feeling good, great. But
That's a bonus.
it's not the purpose of one of these meetings. The purpose of the meeting
Information.
is to gather information and to get questions answered. And it just feels like it's still missing. And
It is still missing. So if anybody is seeing this, is like, does it feel that way? I guess this is my little segue to say, like, drop a comment below, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good shit stuff. Um, hit the thumbs down button, put a comment in here, tell me, you know, what you disagree with, because we like to have adult conversations about this stuff. This is serious, and it's not even about, as I guess some of us hopefully are finally saying, we're fighting each other, not, all we. I know I'm not French, we. No. Um, just division being caused that I personally blame on the people that are voted in right now, because what if all this is planned? When did y'all have time to plan it? When y'all sent everybody else out to talk about Tiffany Henry, can y'all be real? Like, can we be real about something? Drop a comment if you really real and if there is anything that you don't see or anything that you do see that may be suspicious in this whole press to get Tiffany out. Who called y'all? Who said we want her out? Who said she was a threat? Think about that.
that's why I think it still feels a little showy. We're only getting to see what they choose to show us. And we want to see the nitty-gritty. And especially here in Thornton Township, people have felt really disconnected because of
Okay, I'm gonna let her finish. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, because people do feel disconnected, and part of that is because many of the what we now call the podium people, many of the podium people came for attack. They did not come for understanding so that they can make informed decisions about how to vote. People came to talk about uh, things as trivial as the woman's child. So this administration can't give basic numbers. They apparently don't have the money. What is the reason for not being able to do a forensic or not doing a forensic audit yet? That should have been the first thing. Again, that's old business. Old business don't leave the agenda just because it's a new supervisor. It's still old business. Is not settled. forensic audit.
the history, and so
We're battle scarred.
we need more. Maybe we need more information than even the average board would give. But it's what's needed right now to correct the ship.
And on that note, we are going to leave you with that. Please go over. They have the meeting in full after their commentary. I just personally wanted to say I absolutely don't think that that the Lansing Journal was being judgy, or I thought you went pretty easy on them. So thank you. As always, again, shout out to the Lansing Journal. They have been here before YouTube. Okay, they've been there before YouTube. So, with that, take some time, think about yourself, and as you take some deep stomach breaths to just don't do anything. Just be still and see what that feels like. But until next time, of course, as always, we are sending love and light. As always.